Well, now it is time for us to make fun of some European music. And why are we doing this? Well, it's because I get so many butthurt comments and messages and stuff telling me that I talk about too many American bands. People that seem to think that I'm only able to process American music, that my dumb American brain doesn't realize that there's other countries in the world. And it couldn't possibly be that the reason why I talk about a lot of American bands is that because the American bands were the most important ones in the genres that I talk about. For example, pop punk. Who were the big European pop punk bands? They don't exist. Now, if we're talking about metal or something like that, that's a different story. I do talk about a lot of European bands there, but I try to avoid talking about metal for obvious reasons, because when I talk about metal, that means metal fans are going to appear, especially European metal fans, and, you know, nobody wants that to happen. But to appease those angry Europeans who think that I don't talk enough about European bands or about bands that aren't for America, I thought we would do that tonight. But I don't know if they're going to be happy with this, because the problem is that a lot of European music is not good. The batting average for European music, it's not great. At least that's how I've always seen things, but let's find out tonight if I'm right or not. I'm going to give you guys a little spoiler warning. This segment is not going to be flattering to Europeans, and I stacked the deck. So don't send me good European music. Send me bad European music, because the goal of this segment is to rustle the jimmies of the Europeans in the audience tonight. First one here is Rise of the Northstar. They're French. Think of them as French people who are like cosplaying as Madball and characters from some really shitty anime at the same time. They're like half weeaboo, half New York hardcore cosplayers. Really, absolutely awful band. I can't believe that there's that many people that like this stuff, because it's fucking terrible. But let's check it out. Without label, done by ourselves. And I mean, they actually shot this in Japan, so I guess, you know, they get some points for going to that level of effort at least. But what does this even mean? Demonstrating my Saya style. Again, it's like, you know, this is a reference to the Madball album, Demonstrating My Style. I don't know what Saya means, but it's this weird, cringy mashup of like, they're cosplaying as two things at the same time. They're cosplaying as New York hardcore guys and cosplaying as Japanese guys at the same time. And just blatant Marauder ripoffs. Blatant ripoff of the Marauder Master Killer album. This drum sound is terrible. I can read katakana, but I would like to know how bad. I mean, just look at this. I understand this band is tongue-in-cheek, but still, Europeans are so clumsy that even when they try to be tongue-in-cheek, it still comes off as like cringy and try-hard. Like, what's great about it is like they think that they're being really clever and tongue-in-cheek, but still their Europeanness comes through. They can't hide the Europeanness. I mean, just the awkwardness of the way he's standing is so European. The vocals are so bad. Music's pretty good, but there's just something, it's just got that dorky Europeanness to the vocals that really don't do it for me. Yeah, we got a European in the chat. Dude, they're French, not European. That reminds me of when somebody said, Anderson Silva's not black, he's Brazilian. They're not European, they're French. And you know, the sad part is, I would say that Rise of the Northstar is one of the best of all these bands. Like, if you think this is bad... Oh, by the way, this is from 2012. I saw him wearing a mask, and I didn't even think anything of it, because obviously nobody saw that coming. They were doing it to be Japanese, but, you know, here we are 10 years later, and it doesn't even seem out of place. But anyway, if you think this is bad, stay tuned, because this is the good stuff. The bad stuff is way, way, way worse than this. Oh, I like the Playboy shirt, though. That's cool. It's very American of him. I like how they're just mixing all these. Like, he's wearing a upturned hat in one of these. He's wearing, like, the cholo-type glasses with the shirt all buttoned up. I wonder if they even have any idea how many sort of different American styles they're combining, or if they think that Southern California and New York are, like, the same thing. So this guy's got his flannel with, like, the Old English hat again. I just love that they recklessly mash up New York and Southern California and Japan. They don't give a fuck. Guess what, guys? As an American, I'm deeply offended. My culture is not a costume. I am deeply offended. I demand an apology. This is cultural appropriation. He's got the arm movements. I like that. Arm movements are very important. The vocals are terrible. Feisty, of course. Decent drawings. The problem is that their weeaboo stuff is entry level too, like Dragon Ball and Fist of the North Star. It's like, you got to dig deeper, guys. If you're going to be weeaboos, you got to be into some obscure shit, you know? I'll tell you what I would like. Who knows what yaoi is? I'm not going to look it up because it's probably a TOS. But how many people know what yaoi is? Oh, weeboo. Yes, like we, O-U-I. Very clever. Yaoi is, it's like manga fanfics, but gay. So they'll do like some like fan-made manga of Naruto and Sasuke, you know, getting it on. Yeah, I guess not all of it's fan-made. You're right. There might be a different word for that. But anyway, yeah, it's like gay manga. I think it'd be a lot more advanced. Instead of being into like basic shit like Dragon Ball, I think it'd be a lot cooler if they're into yaoi. It's called art, Finn. I wonder what all these Japanese people like think of this. So like, why are these fucking European dorks out here wearing chains and waving their arms around like this? They probably thought they're Americans. Probably so, which is really troubling to me. Because that means that this is what Japanese people think Americans do. And as an American, I'm deeply offended that I have to take the blame for this. Anyway, Rise of the Northstar, one of the best known examples of bad European music. Some of these other ones aren't quite so bad, but they're still a little less clearly ridiculous, but still very European. This is Dreb x Vader BTFU. I don't know what BTFU means. I like it when they put the lyrics in here because that makes it funnier, but here it is. Looks just European as fuck already. Again, with the cosplaying as Americans, you know, they've got the backwards hats, the tattoo shop, but they're in a they always get the details wrong. Like, these guys are in a convertible. Stay the fuck away from me. Look at this. The guys with the backwards hats, and like, this is a fucking convertible Volkswagen or something, or Fiat or something. They always get it wrong. And again, just, they have no idea where they pull this stuff from, which, you know, whatever, it's fine. But like, they have these like cholo letters everywhere. The idea of Germans or whoever these people are, like Germans using like cholo letters, is hilarious to me. Back the fuck up. Okay. Nothing to see here. Just some Germans riding around in their orange convertible cosplaying as New York street guys. I can't understand any of these lyrics, but I'm sure they're brilliant. You're right, it should be bleh the fuck up. The white jackets. Doesn't get any more European than that, than wearing like a white jacket. This is like full on like Times Square tourist, like the kind of guy that would go to the Abercrombie & Fitch flagship store in New York wearing his white jacket with matching white pants. They probably wake up and dream of going to the promised land of New York like some sort of spiritual Mecca journey. Oh, I guarantee it. Pot boys. Please tell me that this is a weed store. I don't know. See, this is the kind of shit that I find is ridiculous. This CS here means consafos, or like, you know, go safely or whatever. That's like a, you know, Chicano gang thing. Like, if you have that tattoo on your body and you go to jail in America, you're gonna get a gang classification for that. They're going to say you're a gangster. So the idea of these Germans or whoever having just a fucking Consafos sign hanging up outside their store is absolutely hilarious to me. And I really hope this is a weed store, because if it is, Pot Boys is the coolest name of all time for a pot store. Get the fuck up! Spanish isn't from Europe, it's from Mexico. Like, this song makes no sense either. Fuck away from me. Here we go. Here's the trap part. Look at that epic manual, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Smoking a cigarette. That's not even a joint. That's a cigarette. Bro, I'm so high from smoking that cigarette. Oh, it's an Audi. They're orange Audi. You're right. That is a fucking Audi TT. the least brutal car of all time. Oh my God, that is the most Euro trash car of all fucking time. Look at this shit. That's what these motherfuckers are driving around in. A fucking convertible Audi TT in orange. Chicago. This is great. Like, imagine if I tried to cosplay as a European. I'd have some like Belgian t-shirt on with a Lithuanian flag, and I'd be saying something in like broken Swedish. People would just be like, what are you trying to do? It is a side effect of America winning the culture war. You're right. Hell yeah. Sick graph, bro. European graffiti is fucking awful too. A barber shop. Okay. Yes. It's a barber shop that also looks like they do tattoos. That looks like tattoo ink, and they sell that expensive like fuckboy paint, graffiti paint, like that Montana shit that's like $12 a can or whatever. All right. So that was Back the Fuck Up by Dreb X Vader. Let's see what else we have. Yeah, barber, tattoo, graffiti shop. Just the one-stop shop for all your European fuckboy needs. Okay, now this band is actually great. This band, Nasty, I think they're from Belgium. This band is actually fucking great because they get it. They know exactly who they are. They know that they're a bunch of dorky Belgians trying to act like a New York beatdown band, and they do it incredibly well. I non-ironically think this song is awesome, and the video is fucking brilliant. This is what all Eurocore bands should aspire to. Incredible lyrics too. Belgium, home of the UN. You wanna fuck my life? I'm gonna fuck yours twice. I can't tell when they're speaking English. This is like the ultimate version of like shitty, cringe, European local beatdown, and it's fucking great. You know, the merch girl doing her dance. If Europeans would just embrace their cringiness, then there'd be no issue. The beatdown Macarena, yes. His purse. What is more European than a man carrying a purse? This isn't even their best video though either. Prime example of C-tier bands being the best. It's true. This video is brilliant. I wonder if these guys kiss their mates on the cheek. Yes, of course they do. This video is great. Look at this. This video was thought about in a sauna. I love the mouth and a mouth. With Europeans, I feel like their clothing is either way too tight or way too baggy. It's never like just right. Like you got the this guy flying through the air here with his shorts are like way too high and way too tight. And then you got the other guy a minute later with his big baggy pants here. It's always one or the other. You know, that's the thing with Europeans is like they just get it a little bit wrong no matter what they do. They never get it quite right. It's always just a little bit dorky, a little bit try hard. The pants are too big or too small. Never just right. But still, I'm a fan. Nasty is great. I'll play you one more of their songs really quick. I love the name of this song. Look at me and fuck you. The ultimate shitty beatdown song title. Look at me and fuck you. Oh, we found the humorless European. This person said, to be honest, painting Europe with a single stroke does kind of make you look like an ass. Well, you're right. You're right. So let me be a little bit more specific. Because it's true. Europeans are not all the same. I want you all to understand how deeply I grasp European culture. And I want you guys to understand the nuances of these things. Because I want everybody watching this to have the tools to make fun of Europeans just as much as I do. And for it to cut as deeply as it does. Because as you can tell, when I make fun of Europeans, they get mad, which means that I'm doing it right, because the truth hurts. So let's be more specific. We've got the sort of Scandinavians, the Northern Europeans. We've got the Western Europeans, Germany, France, Belgium, Netherlands. And then we've got the Southern Europeans and the Eastern Europeans, all of which are ridiculous and cringe in different ways. So you've got the Western Europeans, who I would say are humorless and uptight, take themselves very seriously. And then you've got the Scandinavians, who, to me, the essence of Scandinavians is the smugness. Smug and inflexible. Like, if you've ever had to try to do business with, like, Swedes, like, all right, well, how about we do things this? We would not do this. Like, well, okay, how about this way? We would not do this. Like, well, all right then. When I make fun of Europeans, it's primarily the Western Europeans, to a lesser extent the Scandinavians, because then we get to, like, the Eastern Europeans. Kind of an easy target. They're kind of funny, but at least they're not smug. At least they don't take themselves as seriously as the Scandinavians, or as seriously as the French and Germans. Eastern Europeans are they're funny, but they're not so bad. I get it. They're still recovering from decades of living under communist authoritarian regimes that have destroyed their ability to have fun or make jokes. I get it. It's okay. And then we've got the Southern Europeans. Southern Europeans are harmless. They're just lazy, because we're talking about, Spain, Greece, Italy, where if you're lucky, they have like 14% unemployment. That's considered a good year for them. If they get their unemployment down from 18% to 14%, then they're doing good. And there's not a lot to make fun of with the Southern Europeans, because, they don't make a lot of stuff. They don't make a lot of movies or music or TV. They don't create a lot of culture because they're too busy going on vacation or holiday. They're too busy being on holiday, too busy going on strike, or just napping, drinking coffee at the cafe, playing checkers for like 17 hours a day. These are the nuances. So primarily when I'm making fun of Europeans and European music, I'm primarily talking about the Western Europeans, because they're the ones that seem to take themselves the most seriously, seem to be the most uptight, the most incapable of laughing at jokes. Russians know that they're funny, right? Eastern Europeans, they know that they get it, like the Slav squat being a meme. They get it. It's the Germans and the French, the Belgians, the Dutch. They're the ones that don't take a joke too well. British people are fine. They're not ridiculous. They just smoke and complain a lot, very sarcastic all the time, but they're fine. I worked with hundreds and hundreds of them. British people are okay with me. So really, we're talking about Western Europeans for the most part, but I do think all Europeans are cringe in their own way. So I hope that helps break it down for you. I hope that all makes sense. Now you understand the nuances. I'm not painting Europe with one big brush. I'll let all the Europeans in on something. We're joking. Yes, exactly. Making fun of other is cool until it makes fun of me. Exactly. Look, none of us are too good to be made fun of. Jokes are funny, my friends. Jokes are funny. All right, I just roasted every region of Europe in detail. Let's move on. I guess this is a band called DDorks, like the Dorks, I guess. I don't know. You tell me. Some German, tell us what this means, because this band is terrible. This is the most German thing. If you like smashed Germany up into like paste and then made tea out of it, it would be this song. The Machine of Tomorrow, that's what it means. Why do they all look so awkward? Because they're European. That's why they look so awkward. Oh. Listen how out of time everything is. And they all have the same haircut. What is this beard? What the hell is that? I was shaving my head a while ago, and the battery ran out of the shaver that I used, so my head was like half shaved, and my mother-in-law was laughing at me. That's what looks like this happened here. Like the guy started here and just ran out of batteries halfway through. AI generated Oktoberfest music, yes. You guys wanted me to talk about European music? We're doing it. Here's what all these Europeans in the chat, they're like, oh, we don't claim this. This isn't real European music. No, that's not how it works. You guys want to hold me accountable for something that Donald Trump said 6 years ago? Then I'm going to hold you accountable for this, motherfuckers. This works both ways. Doesn't feel too good, does it? I love this shit. This is my favorite genre of European music. This is like the AI generated hardcore. Punishable Act. The album is just called X. I love these just hardcore band names that are like kind of plausible, but not quite. Because again, Europeans are they're not capable of getting it right. Like they get the basic idea. They got a pit bull in here. They're just a part of the brain of a European that's just incapable of getting it just right. Let's listen to this. punishable act. Sounds like a fake band from a video game. The lyrics are great too. I don't know what you mean, and I don't feel like listening to that shit. What is a trend now, or what you have to do to be successful? So get out of the way and spare myself with that before I shut your mouth. Fuck you. Like, this is what they think Madball lyrics are. If music were not the valve for bad energy, you would be a dead man on the dance floor. You never understood what hardcore means to us because you haven't been an idealist ever since. Oh, this is so good. I love this shit. The Google Translate lyrics, yes. Next time somebody tells you that they're gonna sign to a major label, next time someone tries to make money off of hardcore, you just look them right in the eye and you tell them this. You say, if music were not the valve for bad energy, you would be a dead man on the dance floor. And then just mic drop. Those are mic drop lyrics right there. I live for this shit. It's so good. I live for it. My name, Borat. Very nice. Okay. One thing that I find very, very, very cringe is how much oi is still relevant in Europe. Like, look at that. This is 3 million views. And granted, it's 6 years old, but still, who are the 3 million people listening to fucking oi? Rude pride. Oi should have been extinct by the 90s. Exactly. Who would want to be this? Why would anybody want to cosplay as a fucking skinhead? Yes, this is exactly right. The more of this I listen to, the more it feels like if Americans tried to make Viking metal with Swedish lyrics. That's exactly right. Think of how horrible that would be. Think of how fucking cringe that would be. The train, of course. What could be more European than riding the train? Notice that it's been a minute and there isn't even any singing, for one. What is oi? Oi is like skinhead music. And this is true too. To be fair, there are a ton of American bands that cosplay as black metal. That is true. Oi is skinhead punk, basically. Skinhead girls, I'll have you know, she's not a chick. That's a skin bird. That's what you're supposed to call them. That's a skin bird, my friend. That's not a girl. That's a skin bird. That's a Chelsea haircut. Look at these two skin birds. Swipe left. Europeans just, for whatever reason, completely lack any sense of like nuance or subtlety. They're just like children that just blurt out exactly what's on their mind without any sense of like, oh, how can I make this sound kind of cool? For example, ska and rocksteady music have forged my roots. With them, I learned to hate the racists. Respect and reggae in my boots. Now or never subculture in my neighborhoods. Unity and friendship are our strength. Every blow to our enemies, a sweet revenge. Ooh, I like that one. Put your braces together and the boots under your feet. Now or never subculture on the streets. I like this. This needs to go on the back of a t-shirt. Every blow to our enemies, a sweet revenge. Yeah, sounds like bad Rancid, because Rancid is heavily inspired by Oi, yes. Except Tim Armstrong is a fucking incredible songwriter, so Rancid is like if Oi was good. You know, honestly, I've heard worse. This is bad, but I've heard much worse. Is this Polish? When I see like CZ, that's the clue that it's a Polish band. Or Polish person. When you see CZ, well, let's listen to this band, shizma, whatever, and it will be pronounced like Jeff. Yeah, KJCJCZJ is Jeff. Ghetto. I like how just uncomfortable and unexcited this guy gets right here. I gotta watch that again. It's great. He said, "Don't film me." I think he did. Everyone in this video looks so uncomfortable. This has 200,000 views, by the way. Somebody cares about it. The song's actually not bad. I mean, it's very generic hardcore, but it's not bad. But oh, I like this guy doing his weird Muay Thai training here, clinging to the heavy bag like some marmoset monkey. The guy drawing in his Dark Throne shirt. Does look like Portland, you're right. It just sounds like Lionheart or something. It's pretty generic, but it's not bad. I've heard much worse. I just like how awkward everyone in the video is and that nobody can even lip sync. Here's the Madball part where they're rapping and it gets a little... They need more arm movements. They're just too tired from trying to spell words with all those C's and J's. All right, well, that was Shizma or whatever. Here's another, I don't know if you would call it band, but interesting name. This is No Way Back by Serbian Meat Grinder, and this has 600,000 views. So somebody's watching this stuff. Yeah, you're right, Siberian Meat Grinder. It'd be cooler if it was Serbian Meat Grinder. That's true. What is this mask? Is this like, that's like one of the Fallout masks, right? At first I thought it was an MF Doom mask, and I was like, wow, that's an interesting move. What is this mask? I'm confused. Doing some awful European graffiti. Yeah, Fallout New Vegas, that's what it looks like. The music's not terrible. I mean, I've heard worse. The vocals and all this stuff are just so bad. That's the problem. The drums are always so fake, and the vocals are always really bad. I mean, I've heard worse. You know, the music's not horrible. I don't understand what the Fallout MF Doom mask is all about. I mean, of course, just in case you weren't convinced that they were Europeans, here comes the football. Right? Here comes the guy with the shaved head playing football. Just to prove to anybody who doubted it how European they were. One of my favorite things about European music is just the bizarre names of these bands. And this isn't even one of the worst ones, but V8 Wankers. I'm so confused as to what that could possibly mean. Like, a V8 is an engine, and a wanker, well, we probably all know what that means. So I'm very confused. I'm also confused at why there's so much American imagery here. Again, more American cosplaying. I don't know what this is, but let's check it out. V8 is also tomato juice. That's right. Vegetable juice. Party run the clock. My culture is not a costume, motherfuckers. I'm so confused about what this is. This is like truly cosplaying as Americans. I mean, they have an old muscle car in there that probably has a V8 in it. I'm really confused about what this is. They're cosplaying as like American rednecks. I kind of admire this, you know, the cosplaying as American rednecks. You know, they got it kind of right. They got some of the details right, like the Hot Wheels logo and, you know, the muscle car and stuff. They're getting some of it right, except this guy's wearing like Asking Alexandria jeans. That's not acceptable. You gotta get the rockabilly jeans, but still, yeah, I'm sure it's not American. Listen to their accent. I think? I don't know. Maybe he's just a really horrible singer. I don't know. Oh yeah, no, it's v8wankers.de. They're definitely German. No American would use the name wanker. That's true. I'm just so confused as to what is going on here. Thank you, Hardcore Worldwide. Very cool. And eating pizza? See, they did get a little bit wrong. These American rednecks wouldn't be eating pizza. They'd be eating like barbecue or something like that. But still, I would say this is some of the best American cosplay we've seen. It's pretty good. They do it well. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. This reminds me of the Japanese people who are super into greaser subculture, or the Japanese people that do like cholo cosplay. You know, is this bad? Yes. Is it cringe? Yes. All things considered, it's pretty accurate. They did a good job of cosplaying as American rednecks. Not bad. Well done. Now, in case you thought that V8 Wankers was a bad name, the next band here is called Stinky. And I'm very confused. Like, do they think this sounds cool? Do they think that's a cool American word that's like offensive and edgy? I don't know. But the name of the band is Stinky. Not the worst. I mean, it's kind of generic hardcore, but their name before was Stinky Bullocks. Oof. I wouldn't have guessed that it was possible to have a worse name than Stinky, but they did. They had an even worse name than Stinky. Imagine opening up a sentence saying, "We are Stinky." I don't think this is bad musically. I mean, it kind of sounds like, you know, generic terror type hardcore. Nothing wrong with it. The 11:45 spot on the Zoomy stage, yes. They're French, okay. Band's not bad, but the name is absolutely horrible. Next up, I don't know how to say the name of this band, and I don't know where they're from, but they have a .eu domain, and they got a fucking tank in the video. A tank. Is it just me, or has everything sounded like it could have been the same band? Yeah, because it's Eurocore. It all sounds the same. Where is this band from? Toulouse hardcore. So they're French. They have tanks in France? Look at that. Not the worst thing in the world, but not the best either. Sounds like just generic terror or something to me. What does Toulouse look like? I feel like Toulouse is really pretty or something. Oh, that's nice. So this is the city they're from. Looks lovely. Nice bridge. The hardest. Look at that. From the mean streets of Toulouse. Some shit goes down here, you can tell. Look at the sunset. Gondola Gang. Here's another one. I don't know how to say the name of this. It's Russian, I guess. So you tell me. Some Russian tell me how to say the name of this. I don't know. This just looks like a cutscene from like Stalker or Metro Exodus. Trying to like salvage scrap from the wasteland. Wow, have you guys seen the trailer for the new Fallout Russia game? It looks so realistic. Oh boy. Oh wow, it actually does look like a video game. So it's like, I haven't watched this, by the way. This is interesting. Wow. So is this what Russia's like? There's this beautiful, like, super modern skyscrapers, and then like half a mile away there's like a burned out school bus in the snow with like punks squatting there. Is this what Russia's like? Oof. The moshing, very crucial moshing here. Picking up change outside the Kremlin. Yeah, these graphics are amazing. And I love, is this like a DLC, like a punk DLC pack? This is the coolest settlement I've ever seen someone build in Fallout 4. This mod is incredible. How the fuck does this have 1.5 million views? This is like the final boss of Crust Punks. He doesn't have like a stray dog on a string, he's got a goddamn wolf. Adidas. Again, if you had any questions about whether they were European or not, Adidas. Next one is another one of these bands where there's like a pretty girl in the band. I'm like, you should be doing something better with your time than playing in this band. Wolf Down. This band's actually not bad. This is one of the least embarrassing bands, actually. It's actually pretty good. Good show. Scoliosis, yeah, her posture is atrocious, that's true. Does need to work on her posture, that's true. This is pretty good. I like his, it's almost a do-rag. I think he probably just tied a shirt around his head because it's hot, but it's almost a do-rag. And there's nothing better than a European wearing a do-rag. Every European should wear a do-rag. The do-rag bumped the cringe up a bit, that's true. When the merch girl does vocals. Not bad. Well, anyhow, we've been listening to shitty European music for like an hour and a half. I think I've had enough of it. But for anybody who says that I never listen to European music and that I never talk about European bands, today you got your wish. And just like the Pussycat Dolls say, be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. Every European in the chat, you're all accountable for all of this. This is all your fault.